Didn't appear to concern them overly.
No, no.
Makes the inquiry and gets his way. From wide. Ruiz from deep. Hakimi is always well advanced. Marquinhos. Ashraf Hakimi. He's not playing Capier, and PSG have another corner kick.
It's brilliant movement, isn't it? From Hakimi, probably does that better than any fullback in world football. Those runs from behind a defence.
Belly without swing. Saka had two swings at it. There is a question being asked around handball against Bukayo Saka. The German referee surrounded by players in blue, so now he's waving away.
It looked awkward, didn't it, as it arrived at Bukayo Saka.
Ruiz caught on it by Mosquera. Odegaard is on his way. Trossard's making the run.
If don't make it, why you not going to use this 50%? In a guy like 20%, why you don't do that now? You understand?
Bounces up awkwardly.
So campaign, not campaign, today.
Yeah. You see the Saint-Germain players immediately, arms in the air, appealing.
Mosquera.
They fast. Fast now with this game, if you get more money, say,
Ruiz.
What is that?
At this point, you see at this point.
See,
Let's wait on the
Vitinha. Ruiz. Due.
Arsenal. But the only thing I'm showing is the career. They come in plan.
But before Arsenal fan don't play.
Dembele. Sitting Capier. Flicking it into Kvaratskhelia, who is trying elaborately to leave it behind.
You understand?
Dembele.
Everybody got the
Momentarily out of harm's way, but Ruiz collects again for PSG.
It's the first real little spell where you feel pressure building on Arsenal. PSG controlling possession, but controlling territory as well.
Due. No space between Saka and Mosquera.
No play ball, the person leg now. You don't score, you don't play person leg. This guy now. This guy have a way to
Forward by Mendes.
5 years ago now.
Well, it's calm.
When they play Chelsea. Nah,
similarly poised.
Defending well, Arsenal, but maybe not looking after the ball as well as Mikel Arteta would like them to. Certainly the last 5-10 minutes. Point
of historical concern for Arsenal might be that in their past and only previous Champions League final 20 years ago. They took the lead then, actually, through Saul Campbell famously. By then they were down to 10 men. Jens Lehmann, the goalkeeper, had been sent off. Played so well with 10 that night in Paris, but eventually Samuel Eto'o had his way. Belletti got a winner for Barca.
Precisely this point in last season's final.
Going into this as the only unbeaten team in the Champions League this year. They're the first club ever to win all 8 group games. It's a relatively small sample size, but of course 8 group games is a relatively recent phenomenon. So now they are the European Invincibles. And where they want to be on the big night. Marquinhos. Doué. Marquinhos, Coutinho.
There's that one again from Hakimi. The referee is onto them, wasting time.
Trossard. He wins the throw and takes it in a hurry, only for the referee to overturn that. Big call in Cappier rather than Calafiori, Don?
Yeah, look, I just think from a defensive perspective it was about being solid, really, particularly with the wide players of Paris Saint-Germain. It did feel like the opening 15-20 minutes were going to be really, really important, particularly for Arsenal. Couldn't really have gone too much better. They've had one shot and scored. Paris Saint-Germain have had one shot and not tested David Raya yet.
Yes, what are they play now? What did they do now?
Saliba miskicked and Belling nudged it on. Collected by Kvaratskhelia.
Not too much dribbling. What do I want dribbling now? They come down.
Hear the cheers from the Arsenal fans as well. Just a tackle, just a throw in. That's what it means. Huge.
The 6th time Christian Mosquera has started a Champions League game at all. And he, like the rest of them, is being afforded a warm weather break here and a drink. But it is a substantial ask of the young Spaniard, still only 21 years old, and of his 5 previous starts, 4 were at centre-half. He did play from right back in the second leg of the quarter-final against Sporting. But Arsenal's fullbacks have been a subject for debate all week.
Yeah, they certainly have. A few big calls, that was one of them, wasn't it? Gyökeres or Havertz. You can argue already justified. The fullbacks, in a sense, already justified because they really have restricted Paris Saint-Germain. But there's the goal again. The clearance is blocked by Trossard. Havertz is onto it in a flash. He looks for support, sees that there is none, and hits a thunderous strike into the roof of the net. And it's a dream start for Mikel Arteta and Arsenal. But there is still a very, very long way to go in this final.
His 15th goal in the Champions League, and 2 of them have come in the final, his 4th this season. He got the winner too in a very tight quarter-final in Lisbon at the start of April. Luis Enrique, such a poised individual and with such substantial experience, overseen of course by his boss, the president of PSG, Nasser Al-Khelaifi. Ready to go again. With the throw. He's been spotted already, he's not really allowed to dwell over it. Skelly with courage from between the centre halves and travelling a fair way and finding Odegaard. Saka out by Safanov and swept away by Hakimi, and Safanov has stayed down. And the referee has stopped the game.
Yeah, brave goalkeeping, really important goalkeeping, but he has taken a blow here. It all starts from Miles Lewis Skelly, the youngster, really brave. The ball ends up with Saka. Obviously, it's a really good cross. It's actually his own captain that makes contact there, the knee to the head. Safanov, you can understand why it was a painful one.
The goalkeeper out of the shadows, of course, on behalf of Luis Enrique of Donnarumma, who left in the summer, and out of the shadows of Lucas Chevalier, who began the season. There he is as the principal goalkeeper. He picked up an injury and never really returned. He's been out of the side since January. One clean sheet in 6 Champions League games. That was on match day 1 against Atalanta, when he had hold of the first team gloves, which have long since been inherited by the prone Russian. And of course we're at an age now where, quite rightly, concussion protocols must be strictly adhered to.
Absolutely. As I said, it's really brave from the goalkeeper, but instantly you can see the contact occurs and he stays down, he's hurt. The referee rightly stops the game. Hopefully he's okay, but this is quite a significant delay.
There are many celebrities in the crowd, from rappers to great coaches of the past. Arsene Wenger was a nearly but not quite. Roberto Martinez, Rafa Benitez, all of the finest minds. A great game, as well as those still exercising those fine minds. There are a few finer than that of Luis Enrique, who will be glad to see that Safanov is good to go.
I've watched his team huff and puff Luis Enrique and not really trouble Arsenal in any meaningful way yet. The wide players, they're not managing to get isolated 1v1 against the Arsenal fullbacks. Most of the time PSG are as good as anybody at getting those players in areas, on the ball, in real good situations.
Been through all the tests and is considered a decent enough state to continue keeping goal for Paris Saint-Germain. We're off and rolling again with Vitinha. Gabriel.
They shock you. Say this school don't destabilize players. They don't sleep like that.
So Arsenal go play them, what Chelsea play them.
Mendes from fullback, that's a beautifully shaped pass. Dembele, Hakimi outside of him.
Which Chelsea? That one apart from the top of president.
I bet you take this thing.
And from the outside, we fit. He has to. You know, today now, we do this kind of thing.
Arsenal don't dig foundation. Eh? They always bring block anyhow. They don't block everywhere. Anything done. I know that they give us updates.
Dembele to add on. It's Mendes. Luis beaten to it by his compatriot Raya. Scalia. Mendes. Vitinha.
Arsenal defense don't shake. They don't day like this now. They don't stay everywhere now. They don't block. Now one thing with them, Arsenal, when it comes to football, Arsenal can then get defense.
Ruiz.
No go use that one. Say make you jingle. No.
Vitinha.
See
Hakimi.
Everywhere. They just block everywhere.
Dembele. Hakimi.
No, not even supporter. I mean the main players. They don't block everywhere.
Vitinha.
So PSG they try to break that defense now.
Ruiz. Scalia. Ruiz.
Just look so comfortable without the ball, don't they, Arsenal? I think that's the problem for Paris Saint-Germain. There aren't too many teams in world football that comfortable when they don't have the ball. Well, I think it's 70-odd possession. 70-odd% possession PSG are enjoying here.
Vitinha, Hakimi, Dembele. Scalia off the other side now. Dembele. Can collect that. Ballon d'Or winner is yet to impact for his coach.
No.
Pacho on Havertz is allowed to go. Hakimi can look forward again for Paris Saint-Germain. Against Nkapie behind. Dewey, who turns 21 this coming Wednesday. Gem of an upcoming star he is.
My brother, if they keep this guy defense guy, it's going to finish.
Swung in by Mendes, steered out a little awkwardly by Rice. Confirmed by Saka.
Because if PSG cross that defense, scores. Now they are self, they don't say PSG.
Neves. Marquinhos. Dewey.
Arsenal will fix block.
Hakimi. Saliba got in front of his man, importantly.
He seems to be complaining about every little coming together. Paris Saint-Germain players and to the referee. Arsenal at the moment, they're just stronger physically.
Hakimi. Mendes strikes Rice.
What do you play?
Mosquera. He's seen Saka. And Saka took a nibble from Mendes. Free kick Arsenal.
Yeah, he's not having a good couple of minutes, Nuno Mendes. He's a brilliant player, but that is just a silly challenge to make. Saka waiting for it. Not very subtle. And a set piece conceded in a dangerous area.
Once more. It's one of Arsenal's set-piece principals who has charge of the dead ball, Declan Rice. Beneath the setting Budapest sun. Flown in by Rice. Levered. And over. Prone Gabriel. He's feeling the bumps and bruises.
Gabriel launches himself, ends up landing on Bien Ruiz.
France and German and whatever.
Nkapie. Launched over by Dewey. Taken up here by Vitinha. Wide of whom is Dembele. Ousmane Dembele, terrific block Gabriel. In went Saliba. Out goes Trossard.
You see Arsenal.
Marquinhos couldn't keep it. And Trossard did.
At the time, so PSG break
His pocket was picked by Dewey. So Dewey turned into trouble.
Tell you what, the referee is brilliant here, by the way. He's not falling for any player going to ground really easily. He's allowing the physicality.
Adventure from Saliba. Havertz. Touched on for Nkapie. Advised on, weren't we, by some German colleagues to look back at Daniel Siebbert's refereeing of a massive relegation game in the Bundesliga on the final day of last season, or season just finishing, and I did this morning.
Yeah.
And he had a couple of massive penalty calls to make, which he got bang on. He seemed to understand and read the nature of the contact and interpret very high pressure situations extremely well.
So far so good, he's been excellent, I have to say.
Vitinha. Hakimi, for Neves.
The girl with Arsenal, they played there. Arsenal, they played there. Play come. But that 18 balls will hold you there. If you serve, after 18 serve.
Hakimi has hung it up. Only to Kvaratskhelia. Back in by Mendes. Back out by Gabriel. Havertz wants to slow it down. Hakimi wants to hurry it up.
Calm down, man. Calm down.
Difference of opinion into the collision.
Anyhow. This is they go leave you.
Again,
I beg.
Hakimi, really desperate, wants to keep the intensity high. Havertz trying to do the opposite, slow everything down. Ill advised. Ashraf Hakimi. That's not enough for the officials to get involved.
Hakimi, who scored the first goal of 5 in last year's Champions League final, tapping off a wonderful team move by PSG when they were, by contrast with today, at their beautiful flowing best. Arsenal just aren't having that this time. Mendes in towards Dembele. Gabriel did enough. Dembele let it bounce. Hakimi misjudged the bounce.
Just slightly off it, aren't they? The French champions, they're just not flowing in a way that you would expect when they have the ball.
Pass your game. Pass your ball. You play like as if you are playing normal.
Vitinha.
If I lose nothing.
Skelia. Ruiz. Mendes. Bruno Mendes beyond Mosquera. And notched over by Fabian Ruiz.
Well, that was it there. 42 minutes on the clock. That's how long it's taken Paris Saint-Germain just to create anything meaningful. It's Nuno Mendes bursting to the byline. It's awkward for Arsenal. They don't really deal with it very well. Fabian Ruiz, he's only got a nanosecond to react. He just can't adjust and get that header on target. But there's the first warning sign for Arsenal.
Fast club and, of course, international experience. Fabian Ruiz, his fourth season since north from Naples. Dream come true this is for Lars Lewis Skelly, who disappeared off the radar of Arsenal fans for a very large chunk of the domestic season just finished, and then reappeared in the nick of time and in stellar fashion. Both at left full back and, as he is today, in central midfield. Doué. Scalia. Marquinhos. Dembele, that's high. And Harvest.
Tempting in their probing, but the end product at the moment, not in that category.
No, there is one of the great French footballers of all time, Thierry Henry, who will engender much love at a national level from one set of supporters and on a club level from the other. Captained Arsenal when last they were in the final and lost. Won it though, in the company of Messi and others with Barcelona 3 years later. That's a good fetch by Declan Rice. Trossard. Scalia. Lewis Skelly. Mascara. We are into 6 minutes of stoppage time. Saka.
That's a big 6 minutes for Arsenal. They must try and navigate it, get to half-time with the lead intact.
Arsenal will finish. They will finish this end. If they win this. England will shake.
How long?
Will shake us.
Adventurous. A high-risk tariff.
It's very strange and unnecessary, if you ask me.
Vitinha. Ruiz. Scalia. Vitinha. Dembele. João Neves. Dembele. Skelly. Helped by Gabriel to dig Arsenal out of the hole.
Just took a little gamble there, Miles Lewis Skelly, on the edge of his own penalty area. And as I said, at this state, this time of the game, shouldn't really be doing that.
Hakimi. Doué.
No, I raise hand for Mikel Arteta.
Marquinhos. Vitinha. Doué. Again, airy. Failing to imperil Arsenal and their very happy supporters at all.
It's almost desperation, isn't it? Really. As we see that last-ditch stuff from Nkapie. They won't be used to being restricted so much. Luis Enrique's team.
This is a very Saint-Germain team which in the Champions League this year has been dealing in 3s and 4s and 5s and 7s and is dealing inside first half stoppage time here with a nil.
That's my problem.
And no shots on target.
Mascara. Saka let it roll. Kai Havertz is in again here. And Havertz went tumbling over after dispatching the shot. Marquinhos was clean in the tackle.
Could be a huge moment in the game. Huge moment. Big chance. Kai Havertz.
No. I never see him say whether it is 60 years old. So I'm not sure.
Ruiz.
Mikel Arteta, he coach you. See the way he just imagine. No, Arsenal defense it's okay. The game is okay.
Vitinha. Dembele. Important touch that from Trossard.
Yeah, really important.
at the expense of a corner, for which Hakimi, amongst others, is hurrying forward. Dembele delivers. There are 1 or 2 mini agendas to be dealt with by Daniel Zipa. And Ruiz occupying the same space. Speaking the same language.
PSG no score.
By Dembele, out by Saliba. Mendes. Vitinha. Ruiz, and Raya had to have a second grab.
Well, he hasn't had much to do. If anything, David Raya, to be honest with you. It's thundered in. It is something you'd expect him just to deal with easily. It's their first shot on target.
The apologetic smile from Raya, apologising for anything only to himself. First for the spillage and then for the slightly over-ambitious clearance. The moment is the moment that matters, as it was in Porto 5 years ago, and there might have been a second moment.
Yeah, just... he should be doing better. Look, credit Marquinhos, but the movement to get him in that position was exceptional. Those are the fine margins, you know. Can you make it 2-0? Then you really would back yourself when you have Arsenal's defensive strength.